Olympic fury. I'm Dave Anthony. Was one of the 5 who'd been badly wounded, succumbing to their injuries the day after President Trump offered condolences to the families of those killed and prayers to the injured.
And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is.
The president in that Truth Social video also said this, with the U.S. and Israel continuing to attack Iran.
The entire military command is gone as well, and many of
100-plus people killed in Iran.
We thank President Trump for having brought us to a point of thinking that now we have a real chance to take over our country.
That's exiled Iran Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi telling Fox he wants to return to Iran to lead a push for democracy. We expect an update any minute from War Secretary Pete Hegseth as Iran keeps targeting U.S. facilities in the region.
The U.S. military says Kuwaiti air defenses mistakenly shot down 3 American F-15E Strike Eagle aircraft. There's video appearing to show at least 1 jet plummeting to Earth. The 6 pilots ejected safely. They're in a stable condition in the hospital. We're told the incident happened during combat, including attacks from Iranian aircraft, ballistic missiles and drones.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. The U.S. embassies and consulates have also been targets in the region, and Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports.
And just a few minutes ago, the U.S. embassy in Baghdad is out with a new statement warning Americans to shelter in place and to be aware of the Iranian-backed militias that are scattered throughout Iraq, and are also warning against protests.
As Iran fires missiles into Israel again.
The southern Israeli city of Beersheba took a direct impact. First responders telling Fox News at least 10 people were injured and taken to local hospitals.
Fox's Trey Ingstle's 9 other Israelis have been killed in earlier attacks. Hezbollah fires rockets from Lebanon and Israel retaliates. America's listening to Fox News.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
As we await the update from the Pentagon, members of Congress will get their own classified briefings tomorrow.
The Senate's going to be hearing from War Department Secretary Pete Hegseth, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and others at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time Tuesday. The House will be getting briefed at about 5. The briefings come as several lawmakers consider a war powers resolution that would restrain President Trump's attack on Iran. Both the House and Senate had already drafted resolutions long before the strike Saturday. Under the War Powers Act of 1973, the president's supposed to notify Congress within 48 hours of deploying troops. Then it requires their withdrawal within 60 to 90 days unless Congress approves an extension. Jill Nato, Fox News.
An attack in Austin, Texas early yesterday is being investigated as maybe tied to what the U.S. is doing in Iran. A naturalized American citizen from Senegal shot into a crowd outside a bar, killing 2 people and wounding 14 until police killed him.
Obviously, it's still way too early in the process to determine an exact motivation, but there were indicators that on the subject and in his vehicle that indicate potential nexus to terrorism.
FBI acting special agent in charge Alex Dorn. The man was wearing a sweatshirt with the words "Property of Allah," and on his undershirt there was an Iranian flag. There is financial fallout to the Middle East conflict. The price of oil is surging up 8%. Stock futures are falling more than 500 points for the Dow before the opening bell next hour. On a lighter note, they handed out the Screen Actors Guild Awards last night. Best TV Comedy Ensemble, The Studio. Best TV Drama Ensemble, The Pit. And for movies, Sinners won for Outstanding Ensemble Performance. Michael B. Jordan from that movie won for Best Leading Actor. Jessie Buckley won Leading Actress for Hamnet. 2 weeks before the Oscars. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Firefighters responded to a house fire in Champaign near the intersection of Diana Avenue and Honeysuckle Lane Wednesday. 2 in the home at the time of the fire. They were able to get out. Firefighters able to extinguish the fire before it spread to any nearby homes. Champaign catering operation inside the Parkland College Student Union has been issued a yellow placard after health inspection found multiple cold holding violations. Inspectors reported items like potato salad not kept safe at temperatures, prompting immediate corrective orders. The business Eats, Treats, and Catering must now complete a follow-up inspection. Savoy officials evaluating new traffic flow changes along the busy Route 45 corridor as commercial development continues to expand. Engineering reports show increased congestion near Dunlap Avenue during peak hours, prompting the village to consider signal timing adjustments as well as potential turn lane additions. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, a lot has happened since Friday, that's for sure. Good morning. I'm Stevie J. There's Diane Ducey.
Hello.
We had a lot to cover today. Paul Lewis is going to come into our studios. He was there when this whole Islamic thing started, and they took over Tehran, Iran, and Paul had arrived the night before.
Mm-hmm.
What's he think was what has happened? A dramatic history, but I don't know how it ends. But I do know there are a lot of people that are very, very happy that this bad man is dead. And so are 40 of his top agents and lieutenants and everything else. But how it shakes out and how many die, don't know. But I do know justice has been served for many, many, many people around the globe for a man who's killed so many, including, 1,000 U.S. soldiers, whatever the number is.
Okay.
A lot of people have died because of his proxies, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, all from Iran, paid by Iran, and I guess indirectly the United States, who we've sent them billions over the last decade. Okay, well, we got that. Forgot about basketball.
40,000 is what I heard from at least Iranians. Yeah.
Just the protests. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Very hard to know. And we're, forgot all about Friday night, which was rough for Illinois playing Michigan.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't remember. I've been attending a very long time. I do not remember it. I'm sure it's happened where Illinois has been down 20 on their home court. But it's been a long time. You just remember that. It was a weird feeling. The crowd was so keyed. And, didn't play well, and Michigan's real good. And they
a good barometer of the competition in the big tournament, so there.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure out what happened to Andrei Stojakovic, because he's the guy that was heralded as our top player, and he's not starting, and he played 12 minutes and didn't score. We can't do that, not if we want to make it a real run.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, a lot to sort out there as well, but we've got American hero Paul Lewis running in our studio here in about 20.
Sounds good.
He's one of the 52 that spent 444 days in captivity in 1979. Released exactly 20 minutes after Ronald Reagan was sworn in January 20, 1981.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was part of that kidnap group?
He was part of that group. He arrived the night before. I
remember that.
He arrived the night before, was in the shower when they stormed it. And they didn't have any paperwork on him. They had him handcuffed for 45 days. And figured out he was a Marine, and he's in a documentary called 444. And I said, I saw you in the documentary. I wouldn't have come near you. You look mean. Man. Woo. He has scars on his wrist still.
Yeah, I remember that. I was in school, and I remember hearing that, no sooner than Reagan being, sworn in, within a short amount of time, they're released.
Yeah, they had a deal. They had a deal that was when I'm in. And anyway, they've been killing people. This regime, essentially, if you're not them, you're dead, right? They want you dead. Death to Israel, death to America. We've been putting up for 47 years. So, yes, justice has been served for a lot of the world.
That stuff was just kind of re-ramping up again over the past, few years.
Well, when I hear, I really don't get it, and I'll probably say it a few times this morning. Why didn't the Ayatollah say, okay, not going to enrich, you got me, and just wait. You'll still be in power.
Yeah.
When Trump's gone, nobody's going to do what he did. Just mellow out, and they couldn't do it. And Trump said, okay, well, we can't do it either, because you're building these, putting some bad things on the tips of these ballistic missiles, and you're trying to enrich and regain what we took. Anyway, it's something else.
Can't be trusted.
No, you can't, and they do it the same every single time. Negotiation. Barack Obama sent $1.7 billion in unmarked pallets on an unmarked plane before he left office, and I think Joe Biden handed him billions, again, to appease and to get along, making sure they agree they're not going to build. Well, they just lie.
End up using that money for it.
And they send it to their proxies. All right, 217-359-2255. You want to jump on about that? We'll get to the Illinois-Michigan game. What's ahead? Not any time to dwell. We played tomorrow night. We played tomorrow night against Oregon.
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
I just want to see if we can win.
Here or out there?
It's here, and then we go to Maryland. These are 2, 4, and 14 teams or something. We have to win these two. All right, weather meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Carl.
Reminding you, now that it's March, you might want to sit at home if you're not feeling good, and you can have virtual visits to bring health care to where you are. You can schedule a virtual convenient care appointment at carl.com.
All right, thank you very much. Here's Greg Solier. I got up scraping a little bit here this morning.
Yep.
A little icy, but again, the temperatures coming are so nice and friendly. So
they certainly are. Very much a spring-like weather pattern here into these early days of meteorological spring, and it's a bookkeeping thing. We clocked into the springtime season in the world of meteorology on March 1st, and we've got this wide range of weather, from winter weather advisories from the Brickyard east of the Wabash. That's freezing rain and some sleet, a little snow mixed in, and then it changes over to rain south of Louisville, so that's moving away. And temperatures, our skies have cleared. We're colder, about 25 over the Kankakee right now with the rain, and 35 at St. Louis. We sit at 29 over at Willett and Savoy, the clearing line roughly north of Peoria to about Kankakee. So we'll get into some sunshine as the later morning and particularly this afternoon progresses. High temperature today up around 42 and a light easterly wind. That same boundary that has come through the areas of cold front the past 36 hours, heading slowly back to the north as a warm front. Disturbances along it. The perfect, most just the way you want to go to start getting some drop relief around here. Some patchy light rain and drizzle early tonight. Steady rain well after midnight. Lows down to 36 tomorrow. And in tomorrow night and Wednesday are openers. Periods of rain, maybe a couple of thunderstorms late tomorrow night into Wednesday. There'll be some dry hours mixed in, not continuous. Highs tomorrow around 50. 45 tomorrow night, up to 62 on Wednesday. Boundary moves north as a warm front. Here come temperatures in the mid to upper 60s on Thursday. Again, a couple of rounds of showers and thunderstorms morning and late afternoon. Dry hours in between. Ditto on Friday, but up to 72. Still low to mid 60s for high Saturday and Sunday. More rain in the forecast at 1 to 2 and perhaps as much as 2 to 3 inches of rain total, not all at once, spread out here for this weekend and into the weekend as well. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Okay, thank you very much, Greg Solier. Great to have a great meteorologist that tells us what's ahead in the weather, and with the warmer temperatures coming, that's wonderful. We are in March 2nd, so here we are.
And we do need the rain.
Yeah, we are very dry for our farmer friends, so this will help for sure. Okay, so Friday night, the Illinois-Michigan game, crowd was as good as I expected. Couldn't talk to your neighbor, that loud kind of thing.
I had on the right side, near my right ear, a wannabe radio guy that was calling out the game that I was seeing myself.
Practicing?
I didn't need any of that. And a lot of his calls were inaccurate, and a lot of the...
What was it? Was tape recording or something?
I don't know, Stevie.
Wow.
I was just agonized throughout the game.
Okay, here comes Stojakovic.
And a miss.
The whole game?
And that's good. And it was, that's good for Michigan. And it's like, that's not good. They're making
but there's
shots.
no recording device?
I didn't see it. I
Did
think
he have
he
a
was
small little thing?
quote unquote having fun.
How old a person?
Maybe 18.
Okay, no, he's just practicing. Well, usually, and I did that too, what you need to do is get off on your own with a little tape recorder.
Thank you.
And then you go listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking about handing my card with the ESPN 93.5 on it, saying, I hear this a lot at work, so maybe we could give it a break.
Hey, you know what though? I love the hungry of that. I love that the fact was kid was up there pretending to be
torture for me though.
Brett Musburger. We just listened to the game.
It was bad though.
Well, how is he going to get better? That's unusual.
Not at this game, please.
First of all, I'm surprised you could hear him.
Yeah, I mean, he was like crouched over in his seat, like in my ear. It was horrible.
Well, did you talk to him, or was he busy broadcasting the game?
I was thinking I could change seats. No, I can't.
It's sold out.
It's packed in here.
It really was.
I think he was part of the Orange Crush crowd or something. they were higher up and filling in. And
Was he? Again, I don't know what you're dealing with here. I don't know if you needed a mental health expert or.
I know.
Again, I did that, but I just didn't do it in a crowded place. I went in the corner of the bleachers in high school where there wasn't anybody around to hear me be bad. Okay. Well, sorry about that.
I didn't enjoy the game at all. But of course, I didn't enjoy that felt to me like we were a little flat. I was surprised to see that Keaton Wagler had 23 in the game.
Well, he came on late. It was the game was over. They made a surge. I was watching the first half. It was relatively close, but I'm thinking, not happening.
Okay.
They were just better.
Okay.
In all regards. Defensively, they knocked the ball away from me a lot. They were very disruptive. They were very good on doubling inside the lane. We had some threes. We weren't making threes. Bad night for that. You have to make half your threes to beat Michigan, I think. So I think it might have been, again, I don't know what's going on with Andrei Stojakovic. He played 12 minutes. He had no points. It's like he didn't play. And I know he didn't start out very well and wasn't very effective. I get that. But we can't beat them without him doing something good, I don't think. So maybe it's a reality check saying, okay, yeah, we've been real good this year, but maybe we're not quite as good as we thought because we just played the best team we played this year in Michigan. It didn't go well. So we probably will run into them again, hopefully, and be down the road a little bit in the Big Ten tournament and or the NCAA. And there's too much pressure on March, isn't there?
There is.
I mean, this team has got to make the Sweet 16. It's going to be brutally disappointing, and that's the way it works. You got to win 2 to get to that next weekend for sure with this team. So there's a lot of disappointment. We don't have time to be disappointed. We got to try and play on Friday in the Big Ten, and it looks like we're going to be set up for that because Purdue's lost a couple. Anyway,
I'm looking into Andre, and there's nothing trending about him.
I just think he didn't play well.
I thought there might be a high ankle thing again,
I just don't think he was. We didn't play him till 10 minutes left in the game. He didn't play in the second half till 10 minutes left in the game. I think the game had been decided by then.
Okay.
Anyway, so I don't know. I don't know anything except that I need him.
Yeah.
To be what we were, and that's everybody, all 8 of them. But I don't know. Maybe he hasn't reacted very well to not starting. Some guys really want to start.
You're right.
Guys like Jake Davis could care less. Okay, so...
And then the women lost to Minnesota 78-73 yesterday. So that means we're at Indianapolis Gamebridge Fieldhouse at around 5 o'clock on Wednesday as a number 10 seed taking on number 15 Wisconsin.
I'm telling you what, the Big Ten is the Big Ten. There's a lot of good teams in both men's and women's. I think that the guys seem to be top-heavy with 5 pretty darn good teams. The rest are okay. I don't know if Indiana's going to make it in. I don't know if Ohio State might because they beat Purdue. They might make it in. Anyway, we will continue to work the issue.
Yeah.
All right.
Ohio State beat number 8 Purdue yesterday.
Yeah.
82-74.
Watching that one. All right, we check your weather. Brought to you by Urbana Park District.
Reminding you, spring break. You might want to start to make plans now if you want to check it out. urbanaparks.org for all your options.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. A little wintry precipitation on the overnight and still lingering in some spots here this morning. Some patchy freezing drizzle, but a partly sunny afternoon. High temperatures up around 42 and a light easterly wind. Some light rain and drizzle patches early on tonight, and a round or two of some light to steady rain. Well, after midnight, lows down to 36 as patchy fog forms on up. On an east-southeasterly wind for the day tomorrow. Periods of rain, maybe a thunderstorm late in the day, cloudy. Some patchy fog and a milder high around 50 and a southeast breeze. Periods of showers, maybe thunderstorm tomorrow night. Areas of fog, milder. Lows down to 45 and a milder Wednesday. Areas of fog early on with periods of showers and thunderstorms morning and back in for the afternoon. Highs up to 62. Showers and thunderstorms 64 for the high on Thursday. Friday up to 72. Scattered showers and thunderstorms early and late, and some additional shower activity for the weekend. Temperatures will cool slightly but still stay well above average with highs in the low to mid 60s. Rainfall totals for this week at 1 to 3 inches. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Zolye.
This is the Our Idea is Ready to Launch vision. This is the Create Great Jobs vision. This is the We Need More Space vision. This is Busey, where your business visions become realizations. Through securing capital for growth and comprehensive strategies that ensure a prosperous future, because thriving businesses mean thriving people and thriving communities. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Brent crude, the global benchmark, has topped $76 a barrel. Barron says the attack on Iran has led to a worst-case scenario for the oil markets, closure of the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of the world's oil flows. A prolonged closure could send international prices over $100 a barrel. That level hasn't hit since 2022. Though the strait isn't formally closed, insurers say they will cancel policies for tankers going through it. Airlines and cruise stocks are among the worst hit this morning. Though missile strikes across the region are expected to disrupt travel, Barron says the biggest concern is the rise in fuel prices. Carnival and Royal Caribbean have been down as much as 6%. United Airlines, Delta, and American shares have been down 5%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
From around the world,
Trey Yingst joining us from Tel Aviv, Israel.
To Washington,
I'm Mike Emanuel.
To your own backyard. If a story impacts you or your wallet, we're on it. It's the Fox News Rundown. We give every story the deeper look it deserves with must-listen interviews and smart analysis from the voices you can trust. Start your day with the Fox News Rundown. Listen and follow now at foxnewsrundown.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group. Some of the things that sellers can do to increase the value of their home.
We get this on almost every listing appointment. Hey, Nate, what can we do to increase the value of our home? We want to sell in a couple weeks. Are there some simple things we can do around the house? Or there's some major things that we can do around the house to increase the value or get a return on our investment? And again, not every home is created the same and not every situation is the same. So if we walk in there, there's definitely some items that we can do. Paint, floors, and hardware are the easy items where you get your biggest return out of every time. That's easy to say. But there's a lot of times where we'll get questions from sellers where they're asking us, should I update my bathroom? Where should I stop on my floors? Should I redo my roof? Should I do mechanicals? And I think a lot of that plays into the overall scope of your goals. We like to get into the house when it's really not even ready for the market. We can get in there and usually save that seller a lot of money and a lot of wasted time and energy by just offering some simple advice on how we would treat it if it was our own.
You can reach out at Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning. Do you have your sewer line cleaned every year? Are you constantly getting roots or blockages? Why deal with that headache year after year? Call Land's Drain Cleaning today at 217-355-5512 to have our expert staff come out, clean your line. We give you a free camera inspection, show you what's wrong, where it's at, and then we can offer you a repair for that problem so you don't have to deal with it again. Land's Drain Cleaning. Why call anyone else?
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Let your local farmer's insurance agent Michael Rumsey put his experience to work for you. Michael Rumsey proudly serves Champaign County families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030 to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
So we like talking Gale Ferrex Trucking and Dedicated Diesel, the two businesses you guys run. So talk to me about Gale Ferrex Trucking. Why do your drivers like driving for you?
I think because we care about them getting home and having a home life as well as making money, and that they're allowed to be safe.
How about Dedicated Diesel? Who should know about that?
Oh, anybody with a truck or trailer that they work with. We're open now for federal inspections. We can do those. Dedicated Diesel, I've got a couple of great new guys in there. And Melissa's helping on the front end. And I just couldn't be happier with the way things have progressed and the improvements that we've made.
Well, thank you for putting trucks out there that are safe, and you have drivers that are trained up and experienced.
And keeping the rigs up when it comes to those safety stickers with that safety lane service.
Yeah, every month we have a list of annual inspections that Donna puts out to the guys at Dedicated Diesel, and they have to get those inspections done.
That's Dedicated Diesel and Gale Flerix Trucking with Tim Onstadt. Good work. So usually every morning I grab my phone just to see if the world is on fire, and Saturday morning it was. Coming off the disappointing Illinois-Michigan game, I got my phone, found out that Israel and the U.S. had hit Iran, and off we go into what we don't know, but certainly a incredibly historic moment with the Ayatollah Khomeini dead, along with 40 of the top lieutenants and other people that were running this horrific regime that had killed hundreds of thousands over the years, and at least 500 or 1,000 U.S. soldiers. So, thoughts went to Paul Lewis, who was there from the very beginning. Paul was the American hostage that had come in as a Marine the night before everything fell apart. And it's been going on for 47 years, 37 with this current Ayatollah that is now dead. And Paul Lewis, American hero, tying ribbons around trees around here in 1979, trying to get word from our Homer, Illinois boy. And I just know that it just feels like probably another lifetime for you, Paul.
Well, I had a friend from New Jersey find me. He was in Chicago, and we met and had dinner, and he said he'd last seen me 47 years ago as he went to Lisbon and I went south.
You picked Tehran, Iran. You had a choice, right?
Well, I volunteered.
Volunteered to go there because you thought you'd see a little history. Well, you did.
Well, and I was going to go to Rome if I didn't go to Tehran, and I didn't really want to go to Rome. I found out I was going to be the assistant until I say it's a big post, and nobody likes that guy. You get to do everything the boss doesn't want to do.
Okay.
So that what the heck.
And you were what, 19? 20?
21 when I left, 23 and I got back.
Okay. Brother Johnny, I've called on special assignment here from New Orleans. Johnny.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Johnny, how you doing?
I have been thinking about you this weekend, and it seems like, too, you when you got to Tehran, it happened basically when you got there, and you were. Did you tell me once you had orders not to resist or something like that?
Yeah, we barricaded the door, and they told us to take the barricades down.
What?
Yeah.
And so I was always
how'd that work out for us?
Well, because you guys, it was just students. Well, they were armed, and I don't know what. If you thought back on that, could you have stopped them? Do you think? There was only 5 or 6 of you, wasn't there?
Yeah. Well, we could have kept them out of our apartment until they broke the door down or pushed the stuff out of the way.
I see.
But
I see.
There are a couple thousand on the compound.
Wow.
Okay, so we're breaking for our news. We're gonna get back and really get into all this historically, what Johnny thinks, what Paul thinks, of course, and then get into more. And you're always welcome to dive in on some major historic news. It's pretty much up in the air. The 4th U.S. soldier has been not identified, but reported dead this morning, another one. So this is what we've got here. We've hit 1,000 targets. And whoever they say, well, it might be worse. Well, whoever it's going to be next, if it's going to try and keep this regime going, they won't have any weapons per se. So we'll get into that. 217-359-2255, number to text in if you like on the Fisher National Bank text line. I'm Stevie J. Paul Lewis has jumped in, former American hostage and Marine. Brother Johnny, New Orleans, Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
We'll be right back.
Have you tried the Jets Pizza Thin Crust Pizza? Get a large, thin crust, 2-topping pizza cut into squares, and you have a quick appetizer for that next party, or just a spontaneous get-together with friends. Add a side of Jet's homemade ranch to add a little zing. No mess and fuss in the kitchen. Jet's Pizza, 2-topping, large, thin crust cut into squares for just $14.99. It's not just pizza, it's Jet's Pizza.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Provident Financial Group is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Service Advisors, Inc.
Think you have to settle for mediocre car insurance to save money? Think again. It's possible to get superior coverage and still save money with Erie Insurance. Customers who switched to Erie saved up to $951. It pays to compare. Switch and save with Erie.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Annual savings based on new customers surveyed in March 2022 who reported savings when switching auto insurance. Individual premiums and savings will vary.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm CJ Papa. U.S. CENTCOM reports a fourth service member seriously wounded during Iran's initial attacks, succumbing to their injuries. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth.
We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it.
Iran striking back at Gulf states, Israel, and U.S. military targets in the region today. It's their response to Operation Epic Fury, while U.S. officials explaining a mishap of friendly fire.
During active combat that included attacks from Iranian aircraft, ballistic missiles, and drones, the U.S. Air Force fighter jets were mistakenly shot down by Kuwaiti air defenses. All 6 air crew ejected safely and have been safely recovered and are in stable condition.
That is Fox's Lucas Thompson reporting from Istanbul, Turkey. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. One person arrested after a fire at a Champaign City building on Friday night. 23-year-old Alex Alkerman charged with aggravated arson after police called about someone setting several small fires. The department put out the fire at the city building of the 100 block of North Neal Street. Urbana police rolling out a new specialty unit. It's aimed at improving a response to complex calls and strengthening community engagement. The department says the team will focus on problem-oriented policing, targeted patrols, and coordinated follow-ups at areas that have recurring safety concerns. Champaign Park District asking residents to weigh in on future amenities, programming, and capital priorities. They say community input will guide updates to parks, trails, and recreation facilities as part of a multi-year planning cycle. Now, surveys and listening sessions scheduled through the month of March, with results expected to shape budget decisions that come up later this year. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim Miller. Our weather brought to you by Watts Copy Systems. If you have a copier, and you probably do at your office, right? Then what you need to do is call them at 217-352-0428, and you can get a free evaluation and maybe save some terrific money. What you need to do is call Watts Copy Systems. Weather this morning with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Busey, for over 158 years, member FDIC.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. A little slickery out there this morning, coming off some of the overnight mixed freezing drizzle, freezing rain, a little snow mixed in and coating some areas. Otherwise, a partly sunny afternoon in store. High temperature up around 42. Light easterly wind will bottom out tonight to 36. There'll be some light rain and drizzle in spots early. Steadier patches of light rain after midnight and some areas of fog too. East-southeasterly wind. Periods of rain for the day tomorrow. Maybe a thunderstorm in spots late in the day. Cloudy, some patchy fog up to around 50, down to 45, and more rain in the forecast for tomorrow night. And a milder Wednesday. Areas of fog early with periods of showers, thunderstorms morning and late afternoon. Cloudy, the high to 62. 64, a couple of rounds of showers and thunderstorms Thursday. Yes, it's a wet and active weather pattern ahead this week with drought relief in store. Friday up to 72, scattered showers and thunderstorms morning and late afternoon. Into the low to mid 60s over the weekend into early next week with some additional rainfall across the area. 1 to 3 inches of rain expected to the gauge this week. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, thank you, Greg. Back to Brother Johnny down in New Orleans. Paul Lewis, American hero, Marine, former hostage in Tehran, Iran. There's Diane Ducey. I am Stevie J. You can always text at anything at 217-359-2255. So people, Johnny and Paul, have been trying to formulate their response, and it's been from the left, certainly, Oh, bad man, glad he's dead. Boo, Trump, boo, World War III. I mean, they've been going absolutely ballistic on the left, which I guess you can expect. But, Johnny, I thought we ended stuff at the water's edge, and now we're kind of together as Americans, no?
Well, we thought so, and mostly that's true. But, there's always going to be disagreement with something like this. It's a bold move. We probably, maybe, I don't know what Paul thinks, but should have done something like this a while ago. But it's never been a situation where there may be less of an uproar with the other nations in the area. And that's where the opportunity came up, and with the protests, and everybody saw what they did. I don't know, Paul, what do you think?
Well, this is about the 6th time that they've been in the street and had people executed.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder, though, we get a short memory, and President Obama, I think, did 700 drone strikes this last year in office, killed 2 Americans, didn't hear a word.
Yeah.
So, I really don't mind somebody with an honest objection, but I don't think this is a political thing.
How bad? I mean, you were there from the very beginning. How ruthless, how bad was this regime? I mean, it was murderous, right? I mean, they had Hezbollah, Houthis, Hamas. I mean, they funded all that, I guess, via us in some ways.
Yeah, they're an issue because they did have the 3, I guess Hezbollah shot some missiles at Israel last night.
Active last night.
Yeah.
Supposedly they have 12,000 of those things.
Yeah. And something I guess Trump did that people they told the Israelis take care of it. They just about decimated Hezbollah with the pagers.
Yeah, well, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, the proxies are struggling, but I was thinking too, Paul, the guys who invaded our embassy that you probably got to know a little bit might have been with Ayatollah Saturday, because they probably were those first revolutionaries. Some of those guys.
Well, some of them joined the Revolutionary Guard when the war started.
Yeah.
And
And so you were with them.
And this is kind of personal to me too. My brother-in-law was in Beirut in '83, and Hossein Sheikh Salam was one of our tormentors. Was seen leaving the Iranian embassy as a mushroom cloud went up in the background. I mean, that was an Iranian job.
We had 2 of those, didn't we? Explosions in the 80s under Reagan. Why didn't Ronald Reagan do something, I wonder?
Well, we sent a battalion of Marines into the low ground, and we just got shelled all the time. I mean, really, if you're going to send somebody there, you had to take the high ground. We're just getting shelled from the mountains.
Well, you can go through the last 40 years, and there's incident after incident where Iran has been behind Americans getting killed. In fact, Lindsey Graham was ranting about something that happened that Reagan didn't do anything about. But, that was a different time, too. And so you've just got to measure the response, and then what are the consequences. I think this was the right time, especially with the possibility of the nukes, and we never really know how far along they are. We can only go with the best information we have, but we do know that if they developed the nuclear weapons, that they would use it. That we know that they were shooting 30,000 of their own people.
Yes, start off at Tel Aviv.
Yeah, they hit Tel Aviv first.
Well, right.
And you said that there's the 30,000 estimated that was shot protesting. There's another 50 that they captured? 50,000?
Yeah.
Where do they put them?
Evin prison, just rammed them in there, and then they were executing them day by day.
You think it's still going on?
No, we
They're gone.
We got the judge. He got whacked.
The judge who's who? Judge was somebody you ran into, didn't you?
Well, no, that was an old judge. The guy that was executing all the Sabak guys. They joked that you had a fair trial. You got to write your last will and testament. You had a trial, and they took you out and shot you. Man. And his name was Kakakali. And, they all creep me out. All the mullahs had what do you do with your fingernails? I've never had it done.
The manicures?
Yeah, they had manicures and
really
little soft hands.
Crazy, creepy.
And But when that guy came to talk to me,
the judge came, the old judge.
Yeah, I just got creeped. I thought, this guy's standing there laughing, and he's probably had 150 people executed.
Yeah, that's scary. Golly.
Okay, so when this happened, what was your reaction, Paul? What did you think?
I thought that after you go about a week, it seemed like the mullahs had trouble getting their feet under them, because it went on for several weeks, and then they just started mowing people down in January, and that's usually what happened. But usually they did it earlier, about 10 days into it, they just start mowing.
So this one went longer, and we had no satellite dishes. They turned off the internet, all that stuff.
Right.
Okay.
They got some Starlink in there now.
When I did an online search, it says over 36,500 killed in Iran's deadliest massacre. That was from January 2026. And then it talks about 7,000 dead here in the month of February that just passed. So, yeah, these numbers are staggering.
What I don't get, and Paul and then Johnny, if you could, what I don't understand is they said, okay, take back your country. Well, how do I do that? I don't have but a butter knife. I mean, what do they expect the protesters to do exactly to take back your country?
Well, if you can get 1 million people in the streets, I think they could just go.
But how do they control the weapons and know who's on whose team? Because the Revolutionary Guard are usually fanatics that are involved and really are in this. And how many are there?
There's about 100,000 Revolutionary Guards.
It's a lot of people.
And then I'm kind of surprised the soldiers went out and shot them too. Usually the soldiers kind of stay out of this.
Yeah.
When they were trying to put down the revolution under Shaw, the soldiers just quit shooting.
Is it numbers, Johnny? 1 million is intimidating. Can't do much about 1 million people if they all hit the streets.
Well, remember, they're split up. They're leaderless, so their organization and communications down. We're not going to stop pounding them. And a lot of the guard, I think, too, Paul, I was going to say, hey, I'm out of this. I'm done. And not very many of them, but there'll be a good percentage of them.
Well, they'll get shot by their friends. Their buddies will shoot them, right? I mean, they can't go off.
Well, that's fine, but the truth is, we're gonna find a way to arm the Iranians. That hasn't usually worked that well, but that's probably the only thing we're willing to do. We're not going to send our guys in. But they do have to have weapons because the Iranian Guard is armed.
Well, what about the Mossad? What about Israel? Won't they? How many troops can they put on the ground? Because they'll do it.
Some of the other Middle East countries may too. You got to realize, Paul. I think too that maybe a lot of the Guard and military will maybe turn on them because there's never 100%, and so you might see those fragmenting away from the regime and helping the people, since it's like 80% in favor of getting rid of these guys.
Then you're going to have all kinds of people popping up shooting other people. You don't know who's on what team.
Well, I was hoping the soldiers would take the side of the protesters against the Revolutionary Guard.
How many soldiers?
That's what I'm thinking.
I really don't know.
Yeah, 100,000 Revolutionary Guard guys. That means they're on the Ayatollah's team. They're really in.
And the core is the 10,000 Quds force that.
Yeah, but when it all goes south to 75-80% of the people are just a lot of percent of the 90 million there, and it's you're not going to beat them all back with what they're going to have left. And you're a true believer and you're willing to die for your cause, but then they're not going to have enough weaponry left to hold out. So we'll see. It's a mess, and it's been a mess for 47 years. And one thing's for sure, these people have more influence on death and destruction than just about anybody in our lifetime. And I'm just glad we are doing something about it.
Yeah, I was really surprised they started firing weapons into the Persian,
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
You thought the Arab brother was helping the infidels and...
we had bases there. They don't like anybody. They really don't like anybody.
Okay.
And nobody likes them.
So here's what.
One thing I will say: they were just firing random. I think from various parts of their guard, and not really in any kind of united strategy or plan. They just let loose, And in fact, the president was kind of saying, "Well, we didn't order that," and trying to back off of that. But shooting at the other Arab countries, big mistake.
Here's how most of the reality on the ground was. There were people all over the country and world celebrating the death of the Ayatollah. Here's a man in Austin, Texas, and he's getting a text from his station in Austin, Texas that says, "Don't cover this. Don't cover this. We don't want it." And he's there and he's going, "Okay." And then he says, I am anyway. So they went live to him. And here's what he said.
There's a lot of mixed opinions across Austin about the joint attack between the United States and Israel against Iran that happened early this morning. Some people, like this group behind me, are thanking Trump and the United States government for following through with this attack against Iran, while other people across the city say there needs to be more peace in the Middle East. The strike is drawing a variety of...
They just cut him off.
Oh, wow.
They cut the man off.
Hold the plug.
And the producer, take him down, take him down. What are they doing, Johnny? And then this had to really tick him off. These are Iranians doing the Trump. They're doing the dance. Yeah. They're so happy. These are all younger people. And that got covered. But where are we? What is wrong with us, Johnny?
Well, they're just sticking to the script, and they're going to have to rethink this whole thing because they're hopelessly unable to squelch what's going on. And the other problem they have is that they being the, let's say, progressive Democrats who are kind of anti and their minions, they need to fund DHS, Paul, because because of the 4 years of open borders, we need all the people we can with their eyes open looking around of possible terrorists or lone wolves here. And we need to fund DHS now.
That's right.
And this government shutdown has to stop.
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, I think they will this week.
I hope so.
Well, they might get, when they try to fly home at a national and there's no TSA, they might change their mind.
Right. No, listen. So we are where we are, and that is the leadership from Iran is dead. Who knows who's popping up? Their people purportedly have contacted the White House saying, we have a plan. And right now the bombing continues for who knows, weeks. We're not sure. I don't know.
I don't know how many IR Revolutionary Guards will be over because I think that they're striking them and Mossad had already picked out their houses. They were getting whacked.
So we got the Mossad inside, do you think?
Oh, yeah. They're all over the place.
Okay. But Johnny,
Go
ahead.
I was just going to say the launchers are the target now, and then once they can't attack outside the country, it's just a matter of mopping up, and that's not going to be the U.S., but it may be the Israelis. And I wonder if they'll stop before the job's done, Steve.
Yeah,
Forget about that.
Now, that's right. All right, Brother Johnny, Paul Lewis, former hostage in Iran, who was there when it all began 47 years ago. I'm Stevie J. There's Diane Ducey. 217-359-2255. If you want to jump on the Fisher National Bank text line, what we've been talking about. Paul, what do you think happens as far as the next 6 months in this whole thing? Any ideas? Any thoughts?
Well, I keep hearing people talk about what happened in Iraq. Iran isn't a bunch of tribes that hate each other. It's a pretty, I guess you say, I mean, there's about 6 ethnic groups, and the Persians are about 50%. And they're well educated and pro-Western. And, the other guys are goat herders and, they do their thing. A lot of them work in the oil fields. I don't think you have that group waiting to get at each other's throat like you did in Yugoslavia or in Iraq, where a dictator kept them from killing each other. So I think what worries me is that first transition is getting rid of the guys there, getting somebody in place and making some order of it.
How does that happen?
Well, it's got to be hard because besides that, they don't have enough water. They don't have enough power. Actually, Tehran is sinking. They pump so much water out of the ground that the city is sinking.
No kidding.
Yeah, they've made a complete mess of the place, and it's the IRGC is like the Chinese army. They have the guns, and they have factories and businesses, and they kind of crowd everybody out, and that's part of the reason people hate them, because they know that's why they don't have water. They've drained reservoirs. And just screwed the entire place up.
There's 95 million people in Iran.
Yeah.
A lot of people, Johnny. Man.
No, that's amazing. I think that there just has to be a new, government. And maybe it will be the former Shah's son. I don't know. Or he may organize a group that'll build a new government with another constitution. It could come out that way. Paul's right. They've been the most Western, or had to been the most Western Middle Eastern country until the mullahs took over. But they've maintained a lot of people that are smart and educated. And by the way, Paul, Stevie and I try to stay away from there because we can get drafted.
Yeah.
Because our dad was born in Tehran.
Oh, yeah.
And he, although an Armenian, the Shah hired a lot of Christians in his administration because they were trustworthy. And so in Iran, the way they see it, if you're the son of a citizen, you're one of ours. So I don't want to go anywhere near there even now. Even if they have another, yeah.
There goes that vacation you're planning.
Yeah, that's right. So, but again, if you have, say, the Revolutionary Guard has 1,000 wildcats that love it and they're going to kill you no matter what till they die, you got all these things popping up over the next decade, huh? I mean, it just doesn't go away.
Now you're speaking about the Armenians, the embassy had the majority of the local workers are Armenians.
Still, or when you were there?
Well, when I was there.
Oh, Armenians.
Yeah, and the ambassador's driver's Armenian, but I don't think he made it. I think
Yeah. Well, I think the former president that you wondered if was part of the gang that took you, Ahmadinejad, I think he's dead. They reported that over the weekend.
Oh, he got bombed too?
Yeah. I think he was involved. 05 to 13, he was the president there, and you thought he was one of the guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's there. It's that thing I saw his picture, and the hair on my neck went up.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'll bet.
Sheesh. And then some other guy picked the wrong guy, and then he was trying to make a big story, and he screwed it all up. But there was a move to not let him get a visa to come to the UN. But
Well, okay.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a nightmare over there all these years. So
do you think this is over, Paul? You first?
No, I don't think it's over. But I think.
I mean, do you think that they'll never control it like they did? It won't be that group.
Well, I think they're going to do away with Islamists, but it's going to be a while for them to get it all worked out because they got a lot of problems anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, the bazaars are closed. There's no imports. And the other thing that's kind of going on, nobody's really thinking this through, is, I've heard a lot of criticism about taking Madero out. No, he had a federal indictment for drug use, so I mean, you can capture criminals. That shut off Chinese oil from Venezuela, and they're shutting off Chinese oil from Iran. And it's about 20% of the total take.
What do they do?
They're going to have to buy more Russian oil, I guess. The Russians
is it available?
If the Russians can pump it, the Ukrainians are doing a pretty good job of blowing up their oil.
I mean, is the fear, Johnny, that Russia and China get involved?
No, I don't think they're going to touch this one. I think oil's going to go up, by the way. But that might be a short term. No, I think the regime is probably through, because the U.S. and the Israelis aren't going to stop until they're squelched to the point where they can be taken out. And what happens in terms of the reform of a new government is anybody's guess. Now you're in a kind of a revolutionary period, and who's going to come up on top, we'll have to see. There's only so much we can do in that regard.
Yeah, there's no natural neighbor to come and help them out either that I could think of.
Okay, one texter says, why do we support this other than Trump did it? I
I'll
don't
tell you
support
why.
everything Donald Trump says or does. I don't. But anyway, but the fact is
That's not the reason. But that's really got to be pushed back on. These people were about to make another move up into their enriched uranium, and it was too big of a risk. They're pariahs across the globe. There's no telling how many people they'd have killed, including, and number one probably, or I guess we're always number two behind Israel, Americans. That's who they wanted to kill, death to America. That's why we support it. And I am glad Trump was able to do it, but if Obama would have done it, I would have supported it too.
And the first time they went in the street, they called for, Obama, where are you? And he said nothing.
No, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, this is without a doubt a huge historical event, is it not?
I think it's massive. And the other thing, there are people that, I don't hate anybody. I haven't drugged that around. There are people that if I saw them, I might hate them again. But the Iranians are pretty good people. I was held by a bunch of medical students when they take me out and interrogate me and stuff. They would apologize, let me take my handcuffs off. Very compassionate. And they all kind of left after, I think, they only intended to keep us for 3 or 4 days.
Wow.
And then Khomeini
got in there.
Well, he had to take the attention. I mean, they'd had a revolution. They had no jobs. Nothing was going right. So we became the focus of the attention.
And you didn't know. Well, you had no idea we were tying yellow ribbons around the old oak tree.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't. I still got a bunch of those.
The Persians are a very civilized and compassionate or mild. I don't know what you want to call them. They weren't like the Mongols, for instance. And I think that's still there. And I hope they get a chance at rebuilding their country in a whole new light. They got plenty of resources.
I got about 2 minutes left. If we get somebody in there that America say that's great, they could be incredible. Iran could be an incredible partner in the world, right?
Yeah. I mean, even you think how many people are no longer there that are well educated.
Yeah. Did they go home?
I don't know.
But it has a chance. What do you do about the sinking thing, John? What do you do about a city sinking, Johnny?
Well, you let it fill back up with water for starters. Yes, but if you go back as far as positive force, the Shah of Iran, which is the guy they overthrew, helped us win World War II. That was a key point, and allowed us to go through Iran into Africa, and was a friend of America, which is why we backed him all the way to the end, and they were complaining about us backing him too. Yeah. But no, I think that's 100% right, Paul. That country has a lot of potential to be a good ally, and so we got a chance at a whole new deal. So we'll see how it shakes out.
And I'm always still surprised how I don't know. They're Shia Islam, but they're not fundamentalists. They're Christians do very well in Iran.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jews are used to be treated pretty well. They don't really care about that.
Boys, I appreciate both of you. Johnny, thanks for jumping on a Monday.
Good insight.
And Paul Lewis, thank you for serving your country and coming back and getting Unity High School new buildings. He was on the board when all that happened. I give Paul Lewis credit for Unity High School Unit 7 having new buildings. He was the man. He did
looking good.
Hey, let me tell you something.
I spent a couple years asking people what they wanted.
Yeah, you did, and you got it done.
Hey, Paul, one of my claims to fame, Paul Lewis was my old baseball playing buddy, and he could actually hit it, Steve. I couldn't hit it.
He was a good athlete across the board, tough at football. I saw a picture of him after a football game, and I was scared. Okay, he had a scowl on his face. I was going, dude, you're good, you're awesome, man. Don't hurt anybody.
My brothers Michael and Gary Ducey, they were in there as ball players too.
Yeah, we all kind of played. Paul, thank you for running in.
No problem.
Great to see Paul Lewis. Johnny,
Hey,
thank
thanks,
you. Appreciate it very
Thanks,
much.
Stevie, and great to talk to you, Paul.
Good to talk to you,
Thank
Johnny.
you so much.
care.
Paul Lewis, Brother Johnny. We're going to break for the news and come back. Another hour to go. 217-359-2255. There's no question justice has been done with the death of this Ayatollah and his partners. Now what, I guess, is the big question. How's this going to shake out? We don't know. There's a lot left to get done, but if it's any indication around the world, the Iranians are cheering and they're crying and they're so happy that this evil has been removed. This is ESPN 93.5. We'll be right back. I'm Stevie J. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
It's time for the news from Fox at 8 o'clock. Get the latest now. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
This is a Fox News Alert, an update from the Pentagon. I'm Dave Anthony.
The mission of Operation Epic Fury is laser focused. Destroy Iranian offensive missiles, destroy Iranian missile production, destroy their navy and other security infrastructure, and they will never have nuclear weapons.
War Secretary Pete Hegseth on day 3 of the U.S. and Israeli attacks.
To the media outlets and political left screaming endless wars, stop. This is not Iraq. This is not endless.
And as Iran fights back, the secretary adds,
war is hell and always will be. A grateful nation honors the 4 Americans we have lost thus far and those injured.
The military's Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Dan Kane just said additional U.S. forces are being deployed, and this mission is going to take some time.
And in some cases will be difficult and gritty work. We expect to take additional losses.
Iran's supreme leader has been killed among the 500-plus deaths in Iran, and Fox's Stephanie Bennett reports.
Hundreds of targets in Iran have already been hit. 9 of the country's ships have been destroyed, and the entire military command has gone. In retaliation, Iran has targeted neighboring Gulf states. This morning, smoke was seen rising from the vicinity of the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait, while the U.S. military said 3 U.S. fighter jets crashed due to an apparent friendly fire incident. All crew members ejected safely.
The State Department has a worldwide caution alert for Americans everywhere, with many U.S. embassies in the Middle East either evacuated or with a shelter-in-place order. Israel has been under counterattack on 2 fronts. Hezbollah launching rockets from Lebanon, prompting a deadly Israeli retaliation, as Iran also keeps firing.
New incoming ballistic missile fire hitting Israel today in the southern city of Beersheba. At least 10 people were wounded and taken to a local hospital when one of those Iranian missiles slipped past air defense systems.
Fox's Trey Youngston, Tel Aviv, at least 9 Israelis have been died in the Iranian attacks. Oil prices are surging. Stock market sell-off looms. America's listening to Fox News.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
While the U.S. and Israel keep attacking Iran, which keeps fighting back, an ally not taking part, Britain, is now allowing the U.S. to use their bases.
With Iran attacking multiple Gulf nations, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has agreed to allow the United States military to operate from British facilities. This, he says, is why.
To prevent Iran firing missiles across the region, killing innocent civilians, putting British lives at risk, and hitting countries that have not been involved.
The US will use UK bases to launch raids on Iranian missile sites. Shortly after this announcement, an Iranian drone hit a UK military base in Cyprus. No one was hurt. Around 300,000 British citizens live in the Gulf region. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
They are paying tribute to a civil rights leader in the South. The late Reverend Jesse Jackson, his coffin being moved this hour in a procession taken to a state capitol now.
Flags fly at half staff in South Carolina until sundown. People are invited to pay their respects at the state capitol in Columbia before a public memorial service at a Baptist church. Jesse Jackson grew up 100 miles away in Greenville, class president and star quarterback at a segregated high school. He came home from college in 1960 for a protest that led to the desegregation of city libraries. Jackson died February 17th. The South Carolina services are part of 2 weeks of events. He'll be back in Chicago for a celebration of life at a megachurch and a funeral service at the headquarters of his Rainbow Push nonprofit organization. Chris Foster, Fox News.
In North Carolina, a state trooper is being mourned the day after Stephen Perry was killed on a highway in Durham by a driver going the wrong way. That driver also died in the crash. Back to that looming stock market sell-off. Dow futures are down more than 500 points ahead of the opening bell this hour. Oil is surging up almost 8%. Gold's up 3%. And it's all affecting air travel, especially in the Middle East. More than half the 2,300 flights canceled today are to or from Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Champaign Park District asking residents to weigh in on future amenities, programming, and capital priorities. They say community input will guide updates to parks, trails, and recreation facilities as part of a multi-year planning cycle. Now, surveys and listening sessions scheduled through the month of March, with results expected to shape budget decisions that come up later this year. One person arrested after a fire at a Champaign City building on Friday night. 23-year-old Alex Alker charged with aggravated arson after police called about someone setting several small fires. The department put out the fire at the city building of the 100 block of North Neal Street. Urbana police rolling out a new specialty unit. It's aimed at improving response to complex calls and strengthening community engagement. The department says the team will focus on problem-oriented policing, targeted patrols, and coordinated follow-ups at areas that have recurring safety concerns. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you very much, Jim Miller, 806 in Champaign-Urbana, ESPN 93.5. I want to get to a few of these texts.
Okay, sounds good.
I would like to do that very much. And, yeah.
I mean, technically speaking, Paul, you could put on the headphones and come over there by that microphone.
He was about to leave.
He's got his gloves on,
yeah,
but
we probably
keep
should
the conversation going today.
Get meteorologist Greg Solier.
Here we are, March 2nd.
Yay!
Yep.
Man, what'd they say? March in like a lion, out like a lamb, or something?
Something
Greg?
like that. Yep.
Maybe.
No, nothing like that. I mean, it was pretty docile, a few little slippery spots, but it is what it is. Springtime coming our way.
You're telling me 42 today? Come on, man. This is good.
Oh, we'll put 20 on top of that, maybe even 30 degrees on top of that going forward.
Let's go, man. Mike Wallner says U of I's open whenever there's no snow on the ground. Let's go.
It. And we had a blast doing trivia over the weekend, by the way, at St. John with the Wallner crew there supporting. It was a lot of fun.
All right, our weather brought to you by Kurt Lenschow over at State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Glad you're listening, because you got to hear meteorologist Greg Solier now. Tell us what our week looks like, sir.
Yeah, hey, we weren't too far off, at least out of the snow area that did blossom in the wake of some of the overnight mixed freezing stuff around here. A little coating, a little slippery spot, a little glaze of ice in a few areas, some scraping off the windshield, I'm sure. But you get over towards West Lafayette and down to around Crawfordsville and east towards the Brickyard, almost 3.5 inches of snow down there this morning, and snowing southward into parts of southern Ohio. A lot of freezing rain either side of the Ohio and down through Kentucky. The first of multiple rounds of rainfall coming our way this week. You wanted drought relief. The grounds don't have much, if any, frost in them. You're going to get a nice gradual basis here by the time we get into late weekend, early next week's time frame. Probably somewhere between 1 and as much as 3 inches. Most forests are going to fall probably 2, 2.5, 2 3/4. That is at least a start, considering we're about a foot and a half down from what we should be if you backdate things to the 1st of January 2025. 30 now at Willett and Savoy, 29 over at Rantoul. A clearing line working its way through areas of northern Illinois back towards just north of Peoria. So we'll get into at least a partly partly sunny late morning and afternoon. Some of that mixed freezing stuff continuing to slide off east and southeast of the Ohio and the Wabash. We'll see highs today topping out at around 42 on an easterly wind. Down tonight with some patchy rain and drizzle. Non-freezing variety at 36. A little rain after midnight. Temperatures begin to climb up near 50 tomorrow. A couple of periods of rain in the morning, maybe a thunderstorm in spots back in late in the afternoon. The periods of rain, showers, some isolated embedded thunderstorms tomorrow night into Wednesday. Pretty good coverages over the course of Thursday. Scattered Friday and Saturday. More rain Sunday into Monday. As I mentioned, 1 to 3 inches, and temperatures on the way up. 50 tomorrow, 45 tomorrow night. Wednesday high of 62. Mid 60s on Thursday. 72 on Friday. We'll settle back into the low to mid 60s over the course of the weekend and early next week too. For Stevie Day Broadcasting, I'm just Greg Solgay.
All right, ESPN 93.5. Thank you, Greg. 809. Drag Paul back in for a few of these texts.
Well, and we're seeing on the news here, war with Iran intensifies across multiple fronts is the breaking news coming in. And we've got comments from our listeners at 217-359-2255. Chris and Homer saying, why are people against this if not just because it was Trump in charge?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much most of it. I think you can't not be happy that a very evil man and his regime is dead. And you're not, according to Monsignor Mark, our friend, he said you should never be joyful, but you should be satisfied justice has been done.
That's right.
So when we're satisfied justice has been done. Because this is a murderous, horrible. How do women get treated in that kind of a thing, Paul? Man.
Well, if they do what they're told.
Yeah, right, exactly. You do what you're told. And it's just there's so much joy around the world because there's an opportunity maybe for the first time in 47 years because they had an ironclad grip on this thing, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The joke, back in the day was that the Shah ruled with an iron fist, but with a velvet glove. Khomeini just took the glove off.
Yeah, and it got bloody fast. And then how about, I think it was Ahmadinejad, the president that we think is dead in this bombing, that had said, first time I'd heard that Israel should be wiped off the map. I'd not heard a president come out and be so bold as to say, you got to kill all the Jews. What the heck?
That's not uncommon in the area, frankly.
Okay, well, there's a comment that the argument doesn't hold any water. We obliterated their program according to this administration.
I think we made some real inroads and made damage, but apparently there must have been a way to enrich something. A dirty bomb, maybe?
They had more than one site, and all they had to do was get the centrifuges to spin them up. And they had some stock, we don't know where it was at.
Yeah.
That they'd already run up to like 60. And you only need all you need is 3% for medical and commercial uses. You don't even need that much for a nuclear power plant.
What do you know? We offered Iran in this negotiation free nuclear energy for the rest of time, and they turned that down?
Yeah.
So obviously it wasn't for peaceful purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
No, it wasn't. You could have bought it.
Yeah.
Anybody could have sold you that kind of stuff.
I didn't catch Lindsey Graham on TV last night, but was telling the truth. For the first time in decades, I've heard somebody tell the truth about Ronald Reagan and Nancy were both globalists, just like Bush, father and son.
Well, it's a new era, and we have a president now that's doing things, whether you like it or not, he's doing stuff, and the world knows that if he says something, chances are you ought to listen, because he's going to do something.
Yeah.
And so I think Venezuela, which I think will lead to change in Cuba, because they can't survive without Venezuela. And if this is actually going to happen where we can get a group of people in there to kind of be part of the world and be, involved in good things, Iran could be wonderful. And we know the Iranian people, 81% of them at least, are totally against what's going on there. And they want their freedom, and how many have been killed in the streets because they protested during the Obama years and this last one. So
32,000 this time and 50,000
dead. Unbelievable. What do they do with bodies? That's just tens of thousands of bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
If you go pick up your son or daughter, you have to pay a bullet tax to get the body back.
So we are we're satisfied and pleased that justice has been done with these horrible people, and we just don't know what comes next.
Well, and I had typed in on an online search an estimate of time the U.S. will spend in Iran in 2026.
I don't think we're going to get much time there because Donald Trump's not sending anybody in. It's going to have to be Israel or maybe some other Arab state.
Or less on the estimate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if we're not going to send anybody there, and I don't believe he's putting boots anywhere, but I think Israel will, and they're very capable. Israel's real good at this. They've had to survive.
Yeah.
And the fear of that. And I think maybe some Arab nations get involved in this. And maybe the Abraham Accords come back.
Yeah. Now you got this funny thing, though, between Shia and Sunni.
Yeah.
That's going to be a little bit...
That's always been.
Yeah, well, if you'd send, like, Saudi troops to...
Might not go well.
I'm not sure how well it'd go.
Paul Lewis, you the man. Thanks for running back in. I'll let you go, actually. Thank you.
Okay.
And nice to see you.
Good to see you, man.
American hero. Paul Lewis, my friend.
All right. Well, we did have the women's basketball team lose to Minnesota, number 22, yesterday, 78-73. So now the Big Ten bracket is set for Indianapolis coming up on Wednesday at Gainbridge Fieldhouse when we take on number 15, Wisconsin, as the number 10 seed. So we're taking note of that. Right around 5 o'clock on Wednesday is when we'll find our Illinois women's basketball team in action. Of course, we started off lamenting about Michigan beating Illinois.
Yeah.
That final was 84-70. Illinois.
It really wasn't that close. We made 2 threes at the end.
Right.
Otherwise, I think it looks better. 84-70 looks better than 84-64.
David Markovic with 12 points and 10 rebounds. Keaton Wagler led the team with 23 points. But it was the mystery of Andrei Stojakovic.
And the coach didn't say anything about him that I heard.
Where was he?
Yeah, I tried to listen to the post game. I did not hear anything about him. He didn't play well early. He was kind of doing what Kasparis Jonas would do sometimes, just plow into the middle and somebody take the ball from him.
Mm-hmm.
And so he didn't look very good. And we got to have him if you're thinking, no. Stojakovic is a key element to this. And, I don't know what's going on. And obviously the fans, we were disappointed. Michigan is stupid good. I'm not denying that. But I don't know, man. We were playing so well. Yeah. Anyway, we gotta recoup and see how this team. I think we have a lot of character on this team.
Yes.
So we got to go beat senior night. Say goodbye to go beat the Oregon Ducks on senior night.
Yes.
Say goodbye to Ben Hummerkaus and Kylan Boswell, and who knows who else. They're not going to walk. I think the only 2 basketball players that we know of is Ben and Kylan. So anyway,
number 12 Fighting Illini men's golf team open play against a strong field at Southern Heights Collegiate on Sunday. Stand alone in 5th place behind Trey Marin in a tie for 7th with 36 holes to play, teeing off at 11:50 today there in Las Vegas.
Okay, as you celebrate the special person in your life, give them the love letter that lives on, an estate plan. Preparing an estate plan ensures your family and financial goals are met after you're gone. You never know when the inevitable will come for us or our loved ones. According to a survey from Caring.com, more than half of Americans, 6 out of 10, do not have an up-to-date estate plan. Complete a message to my loved ones, no matter your stage in life, from Busey Wealth Management. Packet will help you outline your life, your legacy, your wishes through fill-in-the-blank questions. Even though we like tests with multiple choice, you can fill in what you want.
Mm-hmm.
It might not seem relevant right now, but having an estate plan is a key part of your financial wellness. For more advice on estate planning and other financial topics, you can connect with Busey. Connect with them on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Busey Wealth Management, there to guide you through the estate planning process. Call 800-67-BUSEY to discuss your wishes and to request a message to my loved ones. Investment products and services are not FDIC insured. May lose value, no bank guarantees. Busey for over 150 years. Member FDIC.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. A little slickery out there this morning, coming off some of the overnight mixed freezing drizzle, freezing rain, a little snow mixed in and coating some areas. Otherwise, a partly sunny afternoon in store. High temperature up around 42. Light easterly wind will bottom out tonight to 36. There'll be some light rain and drizzle in spots early. Steadier patches of light rain after midnight and some areas of fog too. East-southeasterly wind. Periods of rain for the day tomorrow. Maybe a thunderstorm in spots late in the day. Cloudy, some patchy fog up to around 50, down to 45, and more rain in the forecast for tomorrow night. And a milder Wednesday. Areas of fog early with periods of showers, thunderstorms morning and late afternoon. Cloudy, the high to 62. 64, a couple of rounds of showers and thunderstorms Thursday. Yes, it's a wet and active weather pattern ahead this week with drought relief in store. Friday up to 72, scattered showers and thunderstorms morning and late afternoon. Into the low to mid 60s over the weekend into early next week with some additional rainfall across the area. 1 to 3 inches of rain expected to the gauge this week. For CBJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
You know, with like Lands Inc., we specialize in, we've got an amazing HVAC department that takes care of your furnace,
Yeah.
you know, your heat system, air conditioning,
Some
they do
pumps,
that.
yeah.
And for us in Underground, we take care of all your pipes that come into your home, leave your home, and work around your home to keep it dry, you know, your drainage system, sump pumps, things like that. And exactly what you said, if you don't know, you know, a couple decades ago, it was more like, oh, something broke, go fix it, repair it, no big deal. Well, now with the technology, we have cameras, like you said, that we can come in on these orange comfort clubs, and we can camera your sewer lines underneath your house and check them out just to make sure they're fine. If there's something wrong with it, we can show you right then. You know, truth is in seeing it.
Yeah.
We show it to you, and then you can plan as a homeowner for making those repairs or dealing with that issue later on. If it's an immediate need, at least you're not caught off surprise.
That sewer camera inspection with a proper clean out. I was just learning more at landsinc.com.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
U.S. stock futures and global stocks are sharply lower following the U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran. Brent crude, the global benchmark for oil, has topped $77 a barrel. Qatar says it has halted production of liquefied natural gas. Saudi Arabia shut its biggest domestic oil refinery after a drone strike. A fifth of global oil supply flows through the Strait of Hormuz. It's not actually closed, but Barron says insurers are threatening to cancel policies for tankers going through it. Chevron has temporarily shut down a gas field in offshore Israel, but a second field in the region is still operating. Travel stocks are under pressure. Delta, United, and American Airlines shares are down at least 5% on concerns about higher fuel prices. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
You never know who might be taking the quiz.
Hi, everyone. It's Candace Cameron Bure.
Hey, everyone. It's Phil Sims.
It's Dolores Catania.
Hey, everyone. I'm Kix Brooks.
It's Candace Bushnell.
I'm Rob Paulson. I'm Ryan Serhan.
Hey, everyone. I'm Nicole Palizzi.
Everybody's Kevin Nealon.
What's up, guys? It's Nia Sue, and it's time to take the quiz.
5 questions in less than 5 minutes every day. Listen and follow at thequiz.fox.
Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting want to send you to the next Fighting Illini home basketball game. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 and you could be on your way to State Farm Center. Stop by Parlor Donuts in the Old Farm Shops on Kirby and Madison Champaign before the game to try their layered donuts, cold brews, blended treats, and more. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 to win tickets with Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun giving these tickets away all year with football and basketball. And we'll continue, hopefully, to do that in the coming year. This is it for the home games, though. Unbelievable.
I know. Senior night tomorrow. So, Kylan Boswell, I know.
Yeah, and Ben Humberkaus.
Okay.
Ben's been a very important player. Kylan's been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll certainly miss those guys. And again, this is NIL. They all ought to walk. I mean, I don't know. How many guys from last year do we have? Kylan and Ben and Jake. So 3. How many will we have next year? I have no idea. Anybody?
Will Ty Rogers have
I
another
don't
year of
know.
eligibility?
I mean, he's certainly, I'm sure wouldn't use him this year. There's no way to incorporate him and waste the year. He has 2 years of eligibility. But will he go somewhere? I mean, he's from East Lansing.
Okay.
So who knows? Anyway, it's just...
What do you think about Merez coming back? And
Merez is a great player. I mean, yeah, just too bad he left. Dang it. He rebounds like crazy. He was obviously motivated. Obviously wanted to show us. Oops.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see anything playing wise. He was just a tough player. But we knew he was a great rebounder. He was hurt last year. Remember, he missed some games because he was hurt.
Okay.
And then his dad didn't want him on the bench, and he was working his way back.
Well, I feel like, certainly in the sights of the Orange Crush, and they were cheering, but he made the first few points of the game.
He had 17, I think. They would not. I can't say wouldn't have won without him because we weren't. It just wasn't the same team.
Right.
We worked it around. We had good looks. Our strategy is 3 points or layups. I think we could have gone inside more, but they caved in on our guys that went inside. I again thought it would get a very physical game. I think Michigan's defense was extraordinarily disruptive, and I thought overall they were the better team that night.
Mm-hmm.
Now we come back and start making some of those looks, and we're up 9. Whole dynamic of the game changes.
Mm-hmm.
We had some good looks that we just didn't make, and you just can't have that kind of a night against a team that good. And that's how it's going to rock and roll in the tournament. We're going to have to play well, and I think there's extraordinary pressure to win the first 2 games. I mean, that's the expectation we all have. You get to the second weekend, there's 16 teams left. We think we're a top 10 team. You probably ought to try and win one of those, and then you're kind of landing where you are. Top 10 team. But now, you just got to get through the first, and they're harder and harder.
Mm-hmm.
If we win some ball games here coming up, I think we might still be a 2. That's a big difference. 2 playing a 15, 2 playing a 7. Those are games you're going to be, at least the second game will be probably a closer point spread, but we'll be favored. So it's just 3 and 14 and 3 and 6. I think a 3 and a 6, there's not much difference between 3 and a 6.
Right.
Depends on the night. We have a good team. We've had a really nice season. Unfortunately, there's too much weight in March, and you got to win a couple of games in the tournament. So it's what you got, and yeah.
Okay.
So we...
well, when we play and where we play is all a factor too, right?
We'd love to go to St. Louis, of course, to have our fans closer and everything else. But keep in mind, we had beaten Michigan 9 straight. That's a lot of times in a row to beat a good basketball team, and we did it 9. Brad beat them 9 in a row. That's extraordinary. I don't think that's ever happened. Not by one coach. So, hey, it just stings to lose to Michigan and tiddlywinks, okay? We don't like losing to Michigan, ever.
We did hear from Rick at 217-359-2255. Steve and Diane, I feel like we've gone back to the 1968 Democratic Convention days. The apathetic left liberals just complaining about whatever the government does without a solution. Typical liberal left, just here to cause problems.
I just don't think that this is typical. I don't think at all. I think there's a serious, serious problem with Donald Trump, and it sets people off. There's social media clips, and you're wearing a Donald Trump hat, and these people just absolutely lose their mind. That's a you thing. If you lose your mind, if you see a red MAGA hat, that's a you thing. You just, if you can't control your rage against a person who has a Trump flag, that's a you thing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be better than that.
Yeah.
Or you need to go talk to somebody, because you can't carry that with you every day. But I think there are people that have this derangement syndrome that truly believe he's the devil and he's going to hurt my kids. And if you really believe something like that, yeah, you're going to get pretty adamant about this. You're going to hurt our kid. You're hurting my children. If you feel something like that, it may not be logical. And if he was a fascist, you wouldn't be able to say it. How about that?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they just don't listen. There's a lot about his personality. It's too bombastic. It's too this. It's too that. But the job requirement of what we need right now is what he's doing, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that no other president in the history of our country would ever have done. And it's going to make it all better if we can get through it. But, man, we got people that are anti-this and anti-that and hate Trump and hate America, and I don't think it's a big number, but it's enough to get on social media. Anybody can do that. But there's just not a lot of logic there. So the Democrats are grabbing a few of the so-called Republicans and trying to get a War Powers Act and all these. If the president thinks there's imminent danger, the president can do what he's doing. Now that that's done, there is imminent danger. They're trying to get us. They're coming back. So he has 60 days before he has to ask for permission from Congress.
I see.
To declare a war or something. But I don't believe there's going to be anything like that. I think you're going to have problems even in America of a guy just like they had in Texas over the weekend. If you missed it, he shot up a bar, 4 dead, and they shot him. But he had property of Allah. So they're trying to determine if that's a bona fide terrorist act. Sounds like it to me. So you have that. That's totally possible. And I think I heard some former FBI woman last night. I think it's good for everybody in Philo and Champaign-Urbana and Pasodum, everywhere, to have your head on a swivel and just be aware. You don't know what we have in this country because we had 4 years of an open border.
Mm-hmm.
There's certainly people, I don't know if they're cells, but there's certainly people that act alone and can be a suicide bomber and those kinds of things. And so you're just going to have to be on your toes till further notice because we don't know who's here. 50,000 Chinese are here. We're pretty sure of that.
Yeah.
We don't know what that means. And how would they all get here? I mean, how'd you get out of your country?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we definitely have that, and I think they're going to have that. If you have a Revolutionary Guard that has 100,000, there might be 5,000 that are just adamant. We're never let them get away, the infidels, and they're going to do their own thing. So you're going to have terrorism from that side, just a few people till they all die or change their ways. Challenges abound, but evil has been destroyed over the weekend, for sure, with the hundreds of thousands that died over the last 47 years because of this regime. And they were building, and if they really thought they were close to enriching something, even a dirty bomb, they'll use it. Nobody would deny that. Well, we tried that for like 47 years.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're going to come right back. ESPN 93.5, your news is next.
Good morning, First Federal Savings Bank. How may I direct your call?
Speak with friendly, real people during lobby hours. It matters when you call First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana. A real person located at the bank, not a recording, answers your call during lobby hours. Personal, friendly service makes a difference. 217-356-BANK.
Thank you for calling. Have a great day.
Rated 5-star superior by Bauer Financial, Inc. Fast, friendly, and local with local loan decisions and underwriting. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 435120.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. A fourth U.S. soldier has succumbed to injuries from Iran's response to U.S. Operation Epic Fury. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth says U.S. soldiers are battle-scarred from 47 years of war by Iran.
We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it.
As NATO Secretary of General Mark Rutte comes out in staunch support, telling Fox.
Taking out Khamenei, taking out the nuclear capability in Iran, but also taking out the ballistic missile program in Iran. This is crucial. And what I see in Europe, I spoke with all the key European leaders over the weekend, is widespread support for what the president is doing.
As the Arab states defend against Iran's aggression and new Hezbollah strikes, 3 U.S. warplanes shot down by friendly fire from Kuwait. They ejected safely. The Congress Gang of 8 to be briefed late today. America's listening to Fox News.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians. I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
Here's a look at local news. Champaign Park District asking residents to weigh in on future amenities, programming, and capital priorities. They say community input will guide updates to parks, trails, and recreation facilities as part of a multi-year planning cycle. Now, surveys and listening sessions scheduled through the month of March, with results expected to shape budget decisions that come up later this year. One person arrested after a fire at a Champaign City building on Friday night. 23-year-old Alex Alker been charged with aggravated arson after police called about someone setting several small fires. The department put out the fire at the city building of the 100 block of North Neal Street. Urbana police rolling out a new specialty unit. It's aimed at improving response to complex calls and strengthening community engagement. The department says the team will focus on problem-oriented policing, targeted patrols, and coordinated follow-ups at areas that have recurring safety concerns. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, yeah, a little icy, a little slippery right now, but getting better by the hour and warmer by the day. Meteorologist Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. A little wintry precipitation on the overnight and still lingering in some spots here this morning. Some patchy freezing drizzle, but a partly sunny afternoon. High temperatures up around 42 and a light easterly wind. Some light rain and drizzle patches early on tonight, and a round or two of some light to steady rain. While after midnight, lows down to 36 as patchy fog forms on up on an east-southeasterly wind for the day tomorrow. Periods of rain, maybe a thunderstorm late in the day, cloudy. Some patchy fog and a milder high around 50 and a southeast breeze. Periods of showers, maybe thunderstorm tomorrow night. Areas of fog milder, lows down to 45 and a milder Wednesday. Areas of fog early on with periods of showers and thunderstorms morning and back end for the afternoon. Highs up to 62. Showers and thunderstorms 64 for the high on Thursday. Friday up to 72. Scattered showers and thunderstorms early and late, and some additional shower activity for the weekend. Temperatures will cool slightly but still stay well above average with highs in the low to mid 60s. Rainfall totals for this week at 1 to 3 inches. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Yeah, Jeff's right. I said, let's see who came back. Kylan Boswell, Ben Humrickhouse, and Jake Davis, and then, of course, Tomislav came back. So that's 4. It's actually quite a bit in this day and age. How many will come back next year for Illinois? I don't know. Probably too early to even think about it, but you're going to have to replace. I mean, obviously, you're not going to have, Shawnee, Kansas is gone. Keaton Wagler's a lottery pick. And they'll get him another 10 or 20 pounds on his body, which will help him go down that lane. Right now, he's getting tossed around like a rag doll. They can bump him and beat him. And, has it been effective? I think it, obviously worn him down a little bit. I think, being physical with him, even though I think half the time, if not more, he's getting fouled. They just won't call it all. And if you make contact, they don't call the contact ones, but Keaton has had just as good a year as I've ever seen in my long time when it's not expected. Usually you don't have a Kendall Gill as a freshman, a little skinny kid come through and be that. And that's what Keaton has become. Getting 2 major offers to the University of Minnesota and Illinois. Where was everybody else? Well, he didn't play the national circuit. He played local in Shawnee, Kansas.
I see.
So maybe he was 160 pounds, a string bean. We put 20 pounds on him before he hit our court. And even now he gets tossed around. But he's been spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean, from the get-go, he's just been an amazing, composed, darn. I really want to pursue my education, and I want to come back to the University of Illinois. I mean, he'd make $1 million.
Yes.
That's not chump change.
Yes. And everything here. You're going to bulk up over the years with Fletch helping you through the strength and conditioning.
So if I told you to come back and work at radio for $1 million, but $20 million was waiting for you at WGN in Chicago, what would you do? Come on, Diane, get your education. That's exactly right. $20 million? Oh, you're a newsman, Ted. It just makes you...
I've only dabbled on the 80s channel in Chicago, and it was a weekend gig for like a year and a half.
It didn't pay that much for driving to Chicago.
But it was my bucket list to get to Chicago and be on the radio.
Well, you were great.
I have, checked that box at least. And anyway, I am looking at life differently, and to see the smiles from my little Hudson James, little
grandson,
And so I'm looking at life differently.
Yeah.
I'm saying no to a few more things. Although this weekend it was fun doing the trivia. I'd never done that before.
Well, how many people were doing trivia?
There was probably 10 or 12 tables of 8.
Oh, wow, fun.
So, and they were $15 a head. It was a good little fundraiser for St. John's.
Would I have known any of the answers?
Yes, you would have.
Right.
And there was times where it came up where I wonder if Stevie would have got that one.
Presidential trivia, maybe.
They didn't have much of that.
Oh.
It was over the decades. So they started out in the 50s.
Okay.
And then the last round
Sample question. Give me one sample question.
So I know the track and field star, and this might have been in the 90s, that was just off the charts, maybe Jamaican oriented.
He was a sprinter.
That was the answer. Usain Bolt.
That was like 10 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. So that must have been in that decade.
What's the guy Usain?
Bolt.
Bolt.
Uh-huh.
Good name.
And in the 90s, they did all sound clips.
Oh.
So a lot of music. and some
90s music.
I know.
70s maybe.
And there was a movie theme.
Those are fun.
I know. And then even a movie clip with Tom Hanks. And anyway, it was just a whole lot of fun. And
Apparently,
go ahead.
Tom Hanks' son is stuck in Colombia. He had a Greek passport, forgot his U.S. passport.
I see.
He's on some regular Netflix show.
Okay.
He's 35 years old, and he doesn't know what to do, and you have to wait. There's an embassy, but he has to go to Bogota, which is an hour and a half away. Well,
right.
Go to Bogota.
Okay.
You want to get out of Colombia?
Yeah, get out.
Because you have to have certain documentation. You have a U.S. passport to get back into the U.S., even though he's Tom Hanks' son and I guess fairly well known, something I read over the weekend. I've never heard of him, but anyway, yeah, you have to go to the embassy. We were in Uruguay once, and it was a Saturday, and we were having a hard time finding a taxi that spoke any English to take us where we wanted to go.
Right.
Fortunately, my fluent Spanish talent.
Chet is his name. He's 35.
Yeah.
Chet Hanks.
Chester
Marlon.
Well, he'll have to go to Bogota to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
But I told a taxi driver in Uruguay, ¿Dónde está el puerto?
Okay.
Sí.
Yeah, take you to the port?
Yeah, but no,
Okay.
it can be pretty scary if you're somewhere and you're not sure you can get away.
Right.
So
we do have All Out Acapella celebrating the 20th anniversary on Friday night. So I'm looking forward to emceeing that. I did mention that at the last one or two fundraisers I've been a part of to make sure we're getting people to buy those $15 tickets or $10 ticket for senior and adult. And we've got the extension cords again and the rip cords.
Oh, boy.
Like there's 3 U of I student groups. There's also ISU groups. And, of course, the Real Sound from Unity will be singing also. So I hope to see you on Friday night.
This Friday?
It is on March 6th. And I remember the first time hosting it and seeing Polly Anderson there. And I feel like that was just when they were getting the Polly Anderson auditorium. And I mentioned, since I was on the radio with you, that Stevie and I both have sung on this stage. For me, one of the infamous moments was the last note of Bali High in South Pacific.
Wow.
And I missed it. And I just went,
Bali High. It's a high note. I'll find you.
I
got it. I got it.
And there's nothing you can do.
Nope,
You're
it's
just
all good.
out there. It's live theater.
Yeah.
You just get off the stage.
Just tell somebody it was Carol that did that or something. Anyway, 8:41. All right, the recap. We talked all about what happened over the weekend in Tehran, Iran. Paul Lewis, the great Marine and former hostage for 444 days in 1979. He had arrived in Tehran the night before as a Marine to help protect. And they stormed the embassy the next day, and they were told not to barricade the doors. I never knew that. So let them on in, huh? So they did, and everybody was captured. And 444 days later, 52 did make it out on January 20th of 1981, 20 minutes after Ronald Reagan was sworn in as the, it would have been the 40th president of the United States. And so, Paul, we discussed the whole thing. Brother Johnny jumped on this morning talking about what it might mean. We know that this has been a horrible regime for 47 years, threatening their neighbors Israel and, of course, wreaking all kinds of havoc with their proxies like Hamas, that's Iran, Hezbollah, that's Iran, Houthis in Yemen, that's Iran. And how many deaths were they responsible for over the years? God only knows. So anybody that would shoot their own citizens to the tune, Paul thought it would be more like 80,000 because there were 30,000 they think initially shot, just killed, and then 50 more thousand went to jail temporarily, and they're gone. A country of 95 million can shoot 80,000 of their own citizens. What kind of people are they? Pretty bad people. So the fact that we did this, fearing that something was happening to the point of they're going to use it. If they grab it, we can't let them. That's not even a possibility. The president made the decision with Israel doing a lot of the work on the ground. And Israel, if you remember the whole beeper story, where that thing was in play for like a decade, where they had a company and they wired these beepers to blow up in pockets so they didn't hurt anybody else.
Yeah.
And I think that had great impact on Hamas.
That's right.
Because who wanted to communicate with a phone or a beeper?
Right.
Based on what they were worried about.
Uh-huh.
And so Israel is extraordinarily capable. And with the U.S. power, with the USS General Gerald Ford and Abraham Lincoln that are out there, we've hit 1,000 targets. 1,000 targets in 3 days.
Right. I was just typing in about Epic Fury and the operation. It says U.S. deployed an arsenal of weapons, B-2 stealth bombers, fighter jets, rockets to target Iran's Navy, missile sites, command and control headquarters, and air defense systems. The timing was no accident. Both the U.S. and Israeli spy agencies had been tracking Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's whereabouts. The intelligence showed that he would be meeting with senior deputies that morning.
Why would they gather in one room we knew where it's hard to understand that. They just didn't believe it.
Right.
They didn't believe they'd do anything. They never have. So they met in one room, one area, one building. And to strike them at 9 a.m? Nobody does that.
Well, they had hoped to assault in daylight in hope of killing him and his cohorts.
Got him, and that's unbelievable.
Yep.
And most people that I saw, the talking heads, said this was extraordinarily successful, more than they expected. So if they destroyed their Navy, which probably wasn't too difficult, then they can't close the Straits of just blanked out, where all the oil goes out.
Yeah.
And so if they
weren't willing to say they would not have a nuclear weapon.
And again, I raised this earlier. Why not? Why not say you're not going to do it? Yes, you can come inspect. Just lay low for 3 years. Mm-hmm. Governor Newsom gets in there, you're back. Kamala Harris gets in there, you're back, because we're going to loosen things up to negotiate. Well, you want to negotiate, always want to do it diplomatically, but sometimes you might have a player that is interested more in death than talking. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of been their doctrine. 47 years. What if this works out? What a glorious time in U.S. and world history. You don't have somebody killing people because you don't believe what I believe. Kill them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an potentially unbelievably great. And I hope the Eric Swalwells of the world would somehow pause if this works out to say, wow, I guess we did the right thing. But he's still irresponsible and war actor. He's got to stop him. Stop. He's a fascist. I mean, what the heck? It just wears you out.
Yeah.
Quick sports headlines and the weather before we leave you. 8:45.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
This is Eric Bolin with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Provident Financial Group is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Service Advisors, Inc.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end.
We don't have any HOMEs on record.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
All right, sports headlines.
Number 12, Illinois men's golf will be teeing off at 11:50 out of Las Vegas. They're in 5th place right now. Illinois softball 7-7 on the season after winning yesterday. Illinois baseball won all 3 over the weekend.
All right.
7-4 on the season.
Who did they beat?
Well, yesterday was 4-6 over Albany.
Okay.
But I'm not sure the other teams.
7-4, good deal.
Exactly.
Yes.
Illinois women were back and forth with number 22 Minnesota yesterday, but Minnesota came out on top, 78-73. Now the Big Ten bracket has been established in Indianapolis at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. On Wednesday at 5 is when number 10 seed Illinois will face number 15 seed Wisconsin.
All right, we're going to beat Wisconsin, then we'll move on.
Michigan men's team beat Illinois at number 10. 84-70, Michigan at number 3 at the time. I don't know. Duke's the number 1, right?
Yeah, Duke is 1. I don't know if this changes our rank.
Right.
Losing to Michigan.
And that's been some of the chatter.
Yeah.
Is now what? But of course, we'll most likely beat Oregon. Our senior night is tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
We got another game.
One game at a time.
Oregon's playing stupid well lately. They beat Wisconsin.
Okay.
I think they beat Wisconsin.
That sounds right.
Anyway, Oregon has been playing much better basketball. We better play well.
Right. We'll have number 12 Nebraska at UCLA tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Last night, Ohio State beat number 8 Purdue 82-74. Number 13 Michigan State 77-64 winners over Indiana. And Rutgers beat Maryland 69-65. Are all those teams in the Big Ten tournament?
Everybody's in.
Okay.
First time. All 18 teams are playing. I believe they start on Wednesday? Tuesday?
Right.
Tuesday or Wednesday?
So, yeah.
Don't know.
Wow. Okay. But
Bulls, we look like we have the tiebreaker on Purdue, so I think we're going to be on Friday, which looks good. We just got to win some games. So
the Bulls beat Milwaukee 120-97. Memphis over Indiana's Pacers 125-106. Blackhawks blanked Utah 4-0. St. Louis over Minnesota 3-1 in NHL action. St. Louis Cardinals sign Ollie Marmol to a 2-year contract. He's missed the playoffs for the past 2 consecutive seasons, and in 2025, the record was 78-84. His overall record 325-323. So essentially half and half. Yeah.
Yep.
But this is Shane Bloom, our Cardinal president, who's making the call.
I think it's Heim.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like Shane.
Said it
Looks
how
like
it
Shane.
sounds. Yes.
Heim Bloom, I think.
Heim Bloom sounds correct.
Yeah. All right. 8:51.
Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting want to send you to the next Fighting Illini home basketball game. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 and you could be on your way to State Farm Center. Stop by Parlor Donuts in the Old Farm Shops on Kirby and Madison Champaign before the game to try their layered donuts, cold brews, blended treats, and more. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 to win tickets with Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting.
I know it's going to make people really unhinged even more, but there might be more airports named for Donald J. Trump around the world than anybody knows. If this works out, there's going to be a lot of people giving Donald Trump a lot of credit, as he deserves. It's a risky play. Okay, here's the guy. I got to play one more time. Here's the guy that is
in Austin.
Yeah, this is Austin, Texas. You got a bunch of people jumping up and down, waving Iranian flags and cheering Donald Trump.
Yeah, for doing something.
And by the way, Austin is, I think, way more liberal than Champaign County.
I do too.
It's a really liberal town. It's a college town. It's a state capital. And you think, well, gosh, they're a red state, aren't they? Yeah, kind of purplish, but more red. So here's the guy getting a text from his bosses saying,
What's that mean?
they're happy. What's that mean? He said, well, don't cover it. They don't want you to do this. Don't cover this. And then he finally says, I'm going to do it.
Well, I am.
Well, I am. So he gets on the air and listen to what happens.
There's a lot of mixed opinions across Austin about the joint attack between the United States and Israel against Iran that happened early this morning. Some people, like this group behind me, are thanking Trump and the United States government for following through with this attack against Iran, while other people across the city say there needs to be more peace in the Middle East. The strike is drawing a variety of...
Shut him off. Cut him off. And meanwhile, a bunch of happy Iranian people in America doing the Trump dance with YMCA.
I see.
But the guy on the report said there's mixed feelings. He covered the fact that it wasn't all happy, but they didn't want to see the joy that is emitting from pretty much all over the world with people saying, the guy's dead.
Yes.
Well, and we have our normal, you could have named the politicians that are jumping on the microphones, grabbing the Rand Pauls probably and the Thomas Masseys that are rhinos, Republican in name only. Anyway, all that's going on about War Powers Act. They'll do that, and that's not going to work. So we continue to pray for our people that are in danger everywhere in the world. Be on alert. You got to be careful where you go. You don't know where people, want to kill you because of you're an American kind of thing. So just be alert, maybe more than ever. Okay, we say goodbye in just a moment. ESPN 93.5.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Football season is over, but there's still plenty to bet at Circa Sports. From pro to college basketball, hockey, and everything in between, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, tight money line splits, and best of all, no bet fees. Whether you're looking for futures on March hoops, props on your favorite players, and more, Circa Sports has you covered. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, I've struggled with the Illinois game on Friday because I was so pumped, and I knew it'd be hard. But yeah, it's a one game. We're 22-7. We're top 4 in the Big Ten right now. You finish 15-5. I think before the year you'd probably say, I think we take the best we've ever done is 16-4.
Okay.
So we'd be, if we win the next 2, which we'll be favored to do, we'll be 15-5, and and remember the 12 in a row or whatever we had.
Right.
I mean, we got a really good team, and we've seen them. We had our best. Like the Purdue game was pretty remarkable, and certainly we were leading 75% of the game at Michigan State and lost that. So we've been right there. Again, we got Michigan is playing their best basketball according to what I've seen. So anyway, on we go. We got to beat Oregon tomorrow night.
Yep.
Diane, thank you.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I am Stevie J. It's slippery but getting warmer. Be okay. We will talk tomorrow on the radio. Thank you for listening. Have a great Monday.
Spring is here, and so is that clutter. Ready to clear it out? Call 2 Men and a Junk Truck. We make spring cleaning a breeze with fast, friendly junk removal you can count on. Old furniture? Gone. Boxes? Bye-bye. Yard clutter? See ya. We do all the heavy lifting, so you can kick back and enjoy a clean, open space for the season ahead. More room, less stress, and a home you'll love. Starting now. Book today at 2menandajuncktruck.com. 2 Men and a Junk Truck. Junk removal made simple.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Hey, do you have sewer blockages, problems? Are your toilets gurgling? Why deal with the headache? Call Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions today. We can come out and clean your line, camera it, show you what the problem is, and then we have an expert underground team that can make those repairs. 217-355-5512. We are here for you when you need us. Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect accent rug or choosing a good night's sleep over an all-night crime show binge. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is right here in Champaign-Urbana to help you select the right protection at the right price. Kurt will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Just call him when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Former Illini Terrence Shannon Jr. of the Minnesota Timberwolves about Ben Quattrone from Sarah Champagne.
What kind of friend has he been?
Unbelievable. Ever since I came to this dealership, me and Ben had interactions. He's been a great person this whole time. It still is. I always would recommend him to anybody about a car or anything. He's always going to be there for you no matter what. He always be behind you. He's just a great person.
Visit sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com.
PDR Automotive in Urbana has been providing quality auto repair service for almost 50 years. Trusted by AAA Motor Club, PDR employs ASE certified technicians that use the latest in diagnostic equipment. They offer nationwide warranties and are even authorized to perform vehicle maintenance that won't void your factory warranty. Check them out 24/7 online at pdrauto.com. When you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery makes it easy to start your new flooring project. Right now you'll find project price drops on floors store-wide. First, get an instant $100 off every $1,000 you spend on flooring. Find price drops on carpet, luxury vinyl, hardwood, and more. Then get a $50 labor credit with every 100 square feet of flooring you purchase. And buy it all with free financing for up to 2 years. Save now during the Project Price Drops event at Carpet Weavers.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign, Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.